Hello folks. Well, I expect most of you who have smartphones have seen all these ads for the DroneX. They flood the iPhone and other media with the ads saying they're the most bestest thing you ever saw. Well, I bit the bullet and decided to buy one and find out if it's worth the money or not. So this is what I found out. Here we go.
Alright, let's just see what all the hype is about with this DroneX. Now I had to pay extra, I think $35 for the case. So this is what all the hype is about right here. This is the DroneX. Well, let's see. This is what I got. Looks like a lot of paperwork. Oh, I see. This is instruction manuals in every different language here. So we want the American English for me. And also it looks like this is a cheat sheet for, yeah, this is how to set up the app on the phone. Alright, so let's take a look at this. This is all the extra stuff I paid, I don't know, $38 for. These are prop guards that go on. There's the charger. 2 spare props, not 4. And one of the little screwdrivers that comes with everything. Alright, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this transmitter first of all. Okay, well, this stick is okay for me, but this is no good for a pincher, and I pinch the left stick because I get more control, and that's going to have to come off for me before I fly it. We'll see what all these buttons are for. It looks like trims and everything. Takes 3 cells. These antennas, it doesn't look like there's any wires or anything in them. They look fake to me.
Maybe there's some kind of wave guide or something. Well, from the DroneX ad pictures, it looked like the transmitter had a video screen on it. But what I found out is that you have to use your phone to record the video. Well, I never liked that because it uses a lot of memory space, and Wi-Fi is pretty limited. You know, you can't get that far away. But since I use the SanDisk iPhone memory stick, I can download vids and delete them from my phone just as simple as using an SD card. But I do feel a little bit deceived.
Okay, so let's take a look at the actual quadcopter, the DroneX. This is what they're all saying they're talking about. Well, let's see. Oh, nice little click. That's nice. Oh, well, that snaps out nice. That's good. Very good. So that's it. Here's the camera right here. Not sure if you can see that or not. I think they're brushed motors. Let's see what the battery is here. Okay, well, the battery is a 1800 milliamp. Wow, that's pretty good. 3.7 volts. So we'll put that on the charger. Close this up. You know, this reminds me of my Visuo. That's this one. So let's just see side by side what it looks like. This one also has to have an app. Oh, I can see. This is a pretty good flying helicopter, but big difference in the size. So this is even smaller, this DroneX. Let's put it together and see what happens.
Well, first you want to download the free app. It's called THFPV. Then go ahead and start the drone. Then go to settings on your phone and pick Wi-Fi FPV and click it until it connects. Open THFPV app. You'll get a screen that opens like this. Then click the start button and you will get a screen like this one. This is the screen to use when flying the transmitter, not using the phone's transmitter controls. When you click the lock symbol in the upper right hand corner of your phone, it locks out the transmitter and the phone, and then the lower set of icons on the top of the phone appear all of a sudden and they become active, and the phone is now in control. The transmitter will not do anything. So I tried flying it that way, but I cannot, as the throttle is just too sensitive, and I can't fly any sticks I can't feel. I pinch because I actually shake a lot more these days, and when I fly 3D helis, I can't afford to lift my thumb if it isn't feeling right, or I would risk crashing. So I pinch. And since the Far Eastern folks know we're addicted to video games, it's no wonder that they made the transmitter feel like a game controller. But no problem, here's how I simply do mine. I drill a small hole in the thumbstick, add a piece of silicone tubing and a stainless steel servo screw, and voila! Now I can feel comfortable flying in this wind today. Flies pretty good. You might note there are 3% settings on the app for speed. They only work when the smartphone is in control, not the transmitter. Well, I'm only flying the transmitter, so note there is also a button on the top left of the transmitter that adjusts the speed. It beeps 3 times for the fastest at 100%, 2 beeps at 60%, and a default at a slow 30%. I had mine on 30% the whole time when I was flying outside and inside, where I should have used 60 or best 100% to fight the headwind, but I didn't know the transmitter had the speed switch on the upper left-hand corner. Start the recording here. You know what's really cool about this is it does hold its altitude. It may be a little jumpy. You know, you see how it's jumpy like that, but that's, if I let go of the stick, it centers. Now see, that turns it on, but you have to then pick it up like this. See, I am just holding that, and it's maintaining its altitude right there. So that's pretty good. No throttle at all. Now if I want to get it up a little higher, now it's holding altitude. Now watch what it does. Picks it up. Out here with the DroneX. We'll turn on the recording now. We're now recording. Up, down. Another interesting thing is by pressing the smart photo icon on the phone, it begins taking pictures. One every 3 seconds, but it only takes pictures when you're flying, not just sitting on the ground. That's kind of cool. It really flies pretty good. Well, I'm really impressed with the battery. Whoa. So there's my test, folks. You know, in my honest opinion, it's really not as bad as I had heard. And what I really like is the altitude hold. For a small machine like this, it does really good. And I like its snappy flying and stunts. The lights are also right and the camera's not bad at close range, where I suppose most selfies would be made. Well, the still pictures from altitude aren't very good in focus, so I'm going to try and change that, including inverting the camera inside the quad. The battery is also good for 15 minutes, which was pretty impressive to me. What I dislike is the fact that the phone does the recording instead of on an SD card. The video also sometimes drops frames, which could be from exceeding Wi-Fi range or direction. All the photos can be saved and viewed in either direction, but the video is always recorded inverted. I don't like that. The invert switch on the phone app will actually change the inverted video to watch on the phone, but when downloading it to the computer, it's upside down and you have to edit it in the movie editor to watch it correctly. I had to invert all of them in this video to show you. Also, I was expecting a DroneX Pro, but this actually seems to be just the DroneX. Version 1, I guess. It took 16 days to receive it after ordering it, and it all came undamaged. Well, next I'm going to open it up and turn the camera over. And since the lens is focused better close up than at altitude, I'm going to also see if I can change that too. Well, I don't think there's anything I can do about the focus. But I am going to mount this thing upside down. And that is going to happen by me turning it this way. And hopefully there's enough flex on that thing, which it looks like it does.
There we are. Now this is upside down, so I'm going to hit the reverse button over here, which reverses the image. Okay, so there you can see everything is copacetic. Now if I go ahead and start recording, it is recording. You can see that right now. There's no volume on this, by the way. There's no sound. Okay, so you can see that that's recording and pretty clear. Okay, so I'm going to shut that off now. Stop the recording. And let's take a look at it. Let's fly it.
Well, another thing that disappoints me is the fact that the one key functions don't work, as you can see.
I'm going to try this auto takeoff. Nothing happened. Auto land. So maybe it's got to be running like that. Now I push the auto takeoff. Nothing happens. Well, it shuts off.
Maybe on the app they will, but they don't work on the transmitter. In fact, the supposedly headless switch shown in the manual is not the same as mine, as there's a picture of a camera on it. Well, that doesn't work either. I'll do some more experimenting when I get away from some houses, because I don't want to land on top of a house, but it is fast and fun to fly. It's just a shame it doesn't have a better camera.
Okay, that's on altitude hold. On altitude hold right now. I can see myself. Alright, I'm going to push the auto return button and see what happens. Holding it in, nothing's happening. I'm going to turn on the smart photo. It really cranks. So I'm going to shut it, bring it down. Just hold the throttle all full down. Comes down very gently.
So if you can live with what I showed you here, then the choice is really yours. Me, I like it, as it's small, flies good, and it's portable. I'm mostly bummed that I was deceived into thinking I was buying a DroneX Pro. I never saw any fine print to read, so make sure what you get is what you want. But what I did get is sure fun to fly. Maybe I just got lucky, but your results might vary. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time, folks.